You're watching Missouri Western Television. In June, the Western community rallied against state budget cuts. We bring you this story and showcase some of the great features of Missouri Western in this edition of Western Reports. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mallory Edson. Western students and faculty were shocked this month when Governor Nixon revealed his 8.2% total reduction in state funding for the university. Student Governor Peter Gregory sat down with us to give us the details.
Budget cuts are obviously hard for any university or any business, as a matter of fact. Missouri Western has seen very, very large growth over the last 3 years, around 18%, which is the highest out of any state institution in Missouri. And when we are being cut by our funding over the last several years, but at the same time experiencing a large amount of growth, we obviously have to do more with less. So that kind of forces us to stretch our dollar, which is good because we become more efficient and in our operations, but at the same time, we've gone beyond that point of, yes, we're now efficient, but now we're also having to make some cuts that we don't want to make necessarily. The income of the university comes from two different sources: the tuition paid by the students and then state appropriations. And the university does not have control over any of those. They obviously can't control the amount of appropriations coming in from the state, and they cannot raise the tuition above the consumer price index for that year. So obviously we are pretty limited in terms of that. So what can you control? You can control your expenses and your expenditures. So things we've already done is we've cut our operating budget of the university. We have, if a particular position becomes open because somebody decides to move or resigns or something like that, then there are several positions that have not been fulfilled. They're just those duties and responsibilities of that position have been moved to other places. So it's really looking at every place that we can to try to become more efficient and more effective at what we do. We kind of reach a point where if we are cut significantly enough and if we can't raise tuition enough, then we begin to possibly see some compromises in the quality of our education that we receive. And that's not something we want to do. And the university and the administration is very adamant about not compromising that quality that we offer. And we're doing everything that we can to make sure that the students receive a quality education like they have been. Also, by having a decreased cuts in state appropriations, that kind of forces the university to pull their revenue from the students more in the form of a tuition increase. Over the I believe 4 of the last 7 years, we have not increased tuition at all. So, which is a good thing because we're keeping the cost of education low. But at the same time, in the end, it's going to have to go up a little bit because you have your mandatory costs that are always increasing, plus inflation and things like this. So ultimately, it's going to be seen in the form of a tuition increase next year. That's the biggest impact that it's going to have on students. So.
In response to the budget cut, the Student Government Association organized a rally to send the message that it would not be acceptable for Western. Here's Ryan Menley with the story.
A festive gathering for a serious issue facing Missouri Western.
We're still going to fight, and we're still going to try to see an equitable solution to our funding that has not been given to us and that we feel like we rightfully deserve.
And today we all stand here because we believe in what we are. We are Griffins.
Members of the Student Government Association hosted a rally to voice their displeasure and concern for the 8.2% state budget cut applied to Western. The university, despite having the 3rd lowest tuition in the state, was hit with the highest higher education budget cut in the state.
As a student, I take great pride in the education I receive at Missouri Western. And I'm concerned with the 8.2% state budget cuts, which could greatly affect my education.
Students, staff members, alum, and local leaders gathered in Bloom Union June 22nd to sign a petition, a symbolic gesture supporting Western's rally against the cuts.
And this is something that we are launching because we are committed to the notion that silence is compliance, and we won't be compliant whenever it comes to our budget cuts.
Local elected officials were among the rally goers to voice their support for Western.
We don't want to rise up against the governor, but we do want to let the governor know that, these cuts are absolutely unacceptable.
The governor's office told me that they wanted to keep education affordable. It was real simple until you cut the budget that funds education and you have to put the burden back on the students. That's counterproductive as far as I'm concerned.
They've done everything they can to, operate within their means. This university is one of the most important ones in the state, and I think it's very, very important that we keep costs down as much as we possibly can.
And I think the key thing is that if we look back at what Western has done over the past 7 or 8 years as far as tuition and what they have accomplished with the budget cuts and the reductions that they've had the past 5 years, I think they have certainly filled their mission. And I think we want the governor to understand this, and hopefully those lines of communication can reopen where we can work with him, work with higher ed, work with the legislature to see if we can restore some of the funding that's been withheld.
Thank you. That's passed.
As for the SGA, they're not making a political statement. They are the voice of the students, the ones who are directly affected.
We want the highest education we can get, and we want the highest quality, and we enjoy the quality we receive now.
This rally, just the start. Western hopes the state hears its rallying cry, that you can't keep a Griffin down.
Western is family to us. This is where we grow. This is where we become who we are in society. And really, we just want to serve our state. And this funding is an important part of that. And, Western really seeks the values that we are. We're about service. We're about freedom, respect, quality, and enthusiasm. And that's what we really believe in.
You can sign the petition online and show your support for Western by clicking the link on Western's homepage. Western's Board of Governors have reduced the amount of tuition increase that was announced in March. The increase has gone from 6.33% to 5.5% at the request of the Missouri Commissioner of Higher Education. Tuition and general fees for the 2011-2012 academic year will be at an average of $201.38 per credit hour. We'll be right back.
Why is Missouri Western the fastest growing public university in the state? Western students will tell you it's the quality faculty and programs. And now the renovated Augustine Hall gives Western students outstanding science, math, and computer science facilities, the newest in the state. Low teacher-student ratios and real-world learning experiences help make Missouri Western the fastest growing public university in Missouri. That's why we say discover gold. Discover Western Science Gold.
Do you ever wonder what goes on in the arts community in St. Joseph? There's a lot to offer, and Missouri Western's newest show, Art Beat, will highlight the cultural community in St. Joe. We'll bring you theater, music, museums, art, activities for kids, and much, much more. I'm Stacy Park. Please join me for Art Beat on Missouri Western Television at the times you see here. You can also watch us on the web at missouriwestern.edu/artbeat.
We're back with your campus news update. You can help support Western Arts by joining the recently established Missouri Western Art Society, an organization designed to provide financial resources to fine arts and performing arts programs. Here's Martha Greer, Director of Center for Community Arts, with more information.
Missouri Western State University decided to establish the Western Arts Society to help support the growing and expanding arts programs here on campus. We have several programs. The theater department, music department, the Center for Community Arts are all programs that are growing and getting better, and there's a need for some financial support and for some donors and things like that will help those programs continue to grow and get stronger and better. There are several different levels that that donors can select, all with varying degrees of amounts. They can allocate their donation to go to a specific department, or they can just have it go into the general fund, and those funds will be allocated. And also, when you donate, you can get specific benefits as well, as far as tickets to events, discounts on community arts classes, and things like that. I think people in the community really should consider donating to the Art Society, because there are some really, really wonderful things going on this campus. If anybody came and attended the Phantom, which I heard a lot of people did, of course, sold out performances, and it was wonderful and fantastic. That was a great event, and with funds coming in, we can make programs like that grow and become more stable and a tradition here on campus. As far as the Center for Community Arts, we can utilize those funds to provide scholarships and programs for underserved and at-risk youth to participate in our community arts programs. So there are just a wide variety of reasons that the community should support the Western Art Society.
To donate to the Art Society, click the link on the Missouri Western homepage or call 271-5647. The Bushman Planetarium inside Augustine Hall reopened to the public in May to sold-out shows. Here's a look at the new state-of-the-art planetarium with Professor of Physics Dr. Christopher Godfrey.
Well, it was just a plan of opportunity more than anything else. The building was being refurbished. The old planetarium had some issues, some asbestos backing and things that needed to be removed, which required sort of demolishing the whole facility anyway. And so a plan was sort of presented to the steering committee for the building to see if they wanted to invest in a new planetarium. We had several plans, from sort of reinstalling the old equipment to going first class with all new state-of-the-art equipment, and they chose the top of the tier plan, so we've got basically the best equipment we could buy for a theater this size. What we have now is what is referred to as an immersive theater. It is a digital projection system that's full dome, meaning a hemisphere projected on all sides and above you. As far as astronomy goes, we can control that image. We can sort of point to any place in the sky. We can zoom to any position in the known universe and sort of look around from that position. We can zoom in, zoom out, do flybys, things like that. Anything that you want to see, we sort of push a button and it comes zooming in so you can view it close up. So it's primarily an astronomy teaching facility in that sense. But we can also harness that for public showings, do things a little more simple, a little more organized, and we can show films and other programming that are specially designed for full dome theaters. Anybody can ask to use it, since it is very expensive to install and very expensive to operate. Not just anyone will be allowed to sort of use it as a general room, but if they have a need, then we'll try to meet that need. But our astronomy students have used it already extensively last semester and this summer. We've had public showings to the public in general. I think we had something like 16 shows last month, and we're planning about 23, I think, this month, the month of July. So it's used extensively for a lot of things. So we're very fortunate to have this. This is our projection system is known as a Digistar 4 high definition system, and we are right around the 100th installation in the world. So we're in a pretty rarefied air as far as the facility we're lucky enough to have, I should say, here at Missouri Western. Anybody who's interested in astronomy or just interested in theater or movies in general, look us up and come see it. It's really amazing. If you haven't seen it, you guys ought to come out.
For more information and to reserve tickets for July showings, go to missouriwestern.edu/csmp/planetarium or call 271-4288. Western students gave back to the community this month with the annual Lifetime Sports Academy. The Academy teaches kids ages 8 to 12 the skills and values involved in sports activities. Let's take a look as some Western students share their experience with us.
I'm here as a teacher, pursuing a teacher in the future, but just as a PE general teaching class here. I've taught canoeing. Today we're doing like ultimate frisbee and football. My whole thing is just the interaction with the kids, to be honest with you. I'm a big kid adversary. I like to be around kids. I enjoy their time, enjoy their company. And it's also a really good experience for me, you know, to be a future teacher. You know, it's good to have that experience and just interact with the kids and just have a good time doing it. It's really relaxing.
I'm a junior here at Missouri Western, and my major is health and exercise science. So this is working towards my degree for that. I'm a counselor here. I love it. I love working with kids. It's been a blast. Like, I've gotten to know each and every student, and I've gotten to know them really well, and they seem to love me, and I love them as much, and it's a great time.
It's a good time to just get away from the video games, get away from all that stuff that they're doing at home, and just, you know, come out and have a good time, meet new friends, and hopefully, you know, we can get them going on just living an active life, you know. So that's just one of the big things that I like about the academy. So
Students returning to Western in the fall may notice a change on Stadium Drive. The road in front of Spratt Stadium was recently renamed Charlie Burry Drive in honor of Western's first director of athletics. This month's Griffin Sports Update gives us a look at Griffin football players' time well spent with kids from Camp Quality. Here's Ryan Menley.
We're helping out Camp Quality, helping these great kids that happen to have maybe a little, you know, absence in their life, a little struggle, and we're just trying to have a little fun here with the kids. So,
Camp Quality is a national organization that creates a positive atmosphere once a year for kids dealing with cancer. Well, they do a lot of outdoor activities during their camp, and they were attracted to the building like a lot of people are because the publicity we get through training camp and through our Griffin athletics of the opportunity, if there was an opportunity for them to come here and let the kids experience the indoor facility. Just to see, kids that probably were as young as 5 years old to teenagers, running and playing and interacting not only with their counselors, but we had some of our football players from Missouri Western, some of our cheerleaders. Seeing their faces, just running and jumping and playing and falling on the turf, and the interaction really was special.
Kids are great. They're dealing with some hard things, and some of them have beaten it or whatnot, but it's been great and fun.
Today we've been out actually playing football with all the kids and the counselors, and we're getting routed up a little bit. We're getting beat. Little kids are getting it out here.
It's getting pretty heated. I've actually thrown a pick six, so that's not good. Coach Phoenix gonna be mad at me, but it's been a lot of fun for us as well as them.
It was that special, and I think it was that special for our student athletes that were involved, and I think it was special for their staff, for their counselors, and especially for those kids that are trying to get away from the things they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Here's a look at what's happening at Western. The last day to withdraw from the second 4-week summer session is July 14th. Final exams for the summer are on Thursday, July 21st. Walk-in registration for this fall is Tuesday, August 23rd. Griffin Edge student orientation is August 25th through 27th. Classes for the fall semester begin on August 29th. We're out of time for this July edition of Western Reports. Be sure to watch us on Missouri Western Television every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 10 a.m. or online at missouriwestern.edu/inc/news. If you have any suggestions for our program, please email us at television@missouriwestern.edu. New programs air at the beginning of each month. I'm Mallory Edson. Thanks for watching.